So, the Avatar game is coming pretty soon. It seems like the marketing is ramping up. I saw a video from a YouTuber where they said that Ubisoft Massive flew them out to play the Avatar game. I thought that was pretty interesting. It's a game that I'm keeping my ear on the ground on, and it's a game I've actually been interested in playing, but seeing how this year has brought out so many video games, my wallet can only take so much. So I guess maybe I'll probably keep an eye out to see how the game rocks and if I can, snag a holiday deal somewhere perhaps I can get my hands on the game at that point. Now, I'm making this particular, annotation at the beginning of this video because it's a check, in the series of things that we need to get out of the way so that we can possibly get a Division 3 game. And I'm sure you saw where that was going from the title and the thumbnail. You probably were already thinking, yep, we're going to be talking about Division 3. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. So welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. 2017, we got news in the Division community. Yes, the Division community that Ubisoft Massive was working on an Avatar game. Now, they made the announcement to all and sundry saying, hey, we're working on this game. But at the end of the day, it really hit the Division community hard because we were the ones that were actively playing a video game that was developed by this particular studio. We were playing their Division 1 game. We were waiting for some news. We didn't know what was going on. And for the most part, it seemed like content drops were for the main part and the majority already kind of done with, in all regard. The developers had put out so much stuff. They had added to the map. They had, pretty much augmented a lot of areas within the game. They changed the game on the dark zones, different patches. I think it was the most memorable for you PvP players was Alpha Bridge. What was it called? 1.7 or something like that. A lot of people were having fun. There was survival. The game had its loop and things were going well. Then we heard this particular Avatar news, and I remember some people in the community going, well, this is kind of weird. Are we getting a Division 2? Are we getting more DLC? Nothing was said in that regard. And, luckily and fortunately, we were going to be getting news later on, but we didn't know that at the time. Seeing now that the Avatar game is already cooked in the oven, everything is all said and done, and things are well with that game in a sense in regard to it's going to be coming out. And, maybe James Cameron loves the game, maybe he doesn't love the game, or maybe I don't know what it is. I think it's time for us to be able to say, this Avatar game's release, when it shows up, hopefully very soon, brings us closer to the unveiling and the release of Tom Clancy's The Division 3. Because in front of the Division, and that's in Ubisoft Massive's timeline, stands these two factors, and one of them is the Avatar game, the other one is a Star Wars game. And we're seeing that the Star Wars game is also getting, a lot of legs. It's really, really coming along really fine, in my opinion, in my eyes. So I really want to start to, check off the box or cross off these items off the line because, these are action, adventure games that are not really going to provide what it is the Division audiences like, which is that long gameplay loop, being able to get content over time, being able to kind of grind and get gear, get loot, get strong, just the things that we kind of like in a game. These other games are going to be able to deliver it for just a short period of time, but, your entertainment in the way you engage with the Division is something that you can just pay for this one game and you'll save a bunch of money on a lot of other releases for like 3 years, and then you probably entertain the thought about playing another game of which when you play that game for a few hours, then you're going to get your mind right and come back to the Division again, which is pretty much how we roll in the community. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're inching closer. It may not necessarily be the huge leap that everybody would love to see, but it is something that I think continues to draw and bring us closer and closer and closer to the unveiling of the Division game. Now, it could also be that there are external factors that, maybe subcategories like Heartland and, even any other projects that may be going on within the Division community or the Division ecosystem like Resurgence. These could also be factors that need to be, I would say, taken care of in terms of aligning them up with a schedule or whatnot that would affect the way the Division 3 is perceived or revealed. But they're still minor in the grand scheme of things. I think just the fact that Massive's hands is, holding on to these two titles and about to ship them out and will more than likely provide support for them, to me just seems like a bigger, responsibility for them nonetheless. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? Are you going to play Avatar number 1? Number 2, are you ready for Avatar to get out of the way of the Division, or at least get out of the way for Star Wars to then get out of the way so you can get to the Division? How do you perceive the lineup of Ubisoft massive games coming very soon, pre the Division 3 unveiling, release, and so on and so forth? What do you think a timeline is like? I know I've given you an earful of questions, but these are pertinent issues that I think, many Division community members are probably maybe thinking of, or some are probably not thinking of, because, everyone has their perceived timeline as to when they're going to be seeing the next game. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks so much for engaging the content. I appreciate you guys so much. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.